Imagine sailing in total darkness, no moon, no stars, just black water. Then, the ocean turns on, not sparkles, not reflections. The entire sea begins to glow, bright enough to read by, bright enough to see your own shadow. And here's the worst part. This didn't happen once. It happened for centuries. To professional sailors, to naval officers, to people whose entire job depended on not hallucinating. So tonight, we're talking about the glowing ocean, the one nobody warned you about, and the thing it might be telling us. Let's get something straight immediately. Sailors are liars, but they are consistent liars. And in the 1800s, sailors across different oceans, different decades, different empires, all described the exact same impossible thing. Not glowing waves, not glowing foam. The entire surface of the ocean turning milky white, as if someone spilled moonlight across the sea. Ships sailed through it for hours, sometimes entire nights. The glow didn't flicker, didn't pulse, didn't care. One captain wrote that the water looked like snowfields under daylight, but warm and alive, which is a terrible sentence if you think about it. Another noted something worse. The glow didn't move with the ship moved through it, as if the ocean itself was glowing, and the ship was the intruder. These weren't drunk sailors spinning ghost stories. These were naval logbooks, East India Company records, military vessels, the kind of documents where people normally write things like, wind steady, food spoiled, crew miserable. Instead, they wrote things like, sea bright as snowfields, water illuminated to the horizon, no visible cause, no storms, no volcanoes, no bioluminescent splashes, just light. And here's the problem. The glow sometimes stretched as far as the eye could see. That's not plankton, that's a geographical event. Some captains altered course, others slowed down, afraid they were entering shallow water that didn't exist. One ship reported the ocean glowing so brightly that the sky looked darker by comparison, which raises an uncomfortable question. If the sea was bright, why was the sky dark? Naturally, scientists eventually got involved, and by got involved, I mean, they ignored it for about a century. When they did respond, they offered explanations that boiled down to probably algae, definitely bacteria. Let's not talk about this anymore. The official answer today is something called milky seas. Microscopic organisms that glow when they reach massive concentrations. Sounds neat, sounds tidy, sounds like the end of the story. Except, milky seas require perfect temperatures, still water, massive bacterial coordination. In other words, the ocean would have to organize itself. Which is strange behavior for something that routinely kills people for sport. Even modern satellites with infrared sensors and ocean mapping rarely catch these events. Which means 19th century sailors saw something modern science almost never does. That's awkward. Here's where it gets darker. Some crews reported silence, no waves, no splashing, no normal ocean sounds, just light and stillness. One account describes sailors refusing to sleep, convinced the ship had entered another world. Another reports crew members praying, not during a storm, but during perfect conditions, because humans are very good at accepting chaos. What we cannot tolerate is calm. That doesn't make sense. Several ships described crew members becoming paranoid, not afraid of the water, afraid of being watched, which is fascinating, because nothing in the log suggests hallucinations. No heat stroke, no illness, just people reacting to something that felt wrong, as if the ocean was doing something it wasn't supposed to do. Let's be clear, there is no evidence of intelligence in the ocean. None, absolutely not. However, the phenomenon requires trillions of organisms emitting light at the same time, over enormous distances. That's coordination, not thought, not planning, but synchronization. And nature doesn't usually synchronize without pressure, which leads to the question nobody likes asking. What triggers the ocean to light up like that? Because if it's environmental stress, we should be seeing it more often. If it's biological signaling, we don't know what the message is. And if it's something else entirely, well, the logs don't explain it, the satellites barely catch it, and the ocean is still very, very large. The glowing seas didn't warn anyone, didn't announce themselves, didn't leave instructions. They appeared, they glowed, they vanished. No ship was attacked, no disaster followed, which might be the creepiest part, because if something wanted attention, it wouldn't stay silent, and if something didn't care we were watching, it wouldn't stop. So here's the question. If the ocean can light itself up, coordinate across hundreds of miles, and do it without warning, what else does it do when no one is looking? If you want more real events that sound fake, subscribe to Chronicle Crafter. History has been lying to you politely. We're just stopping politeness.